It's getting cold, this late in the night. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped any? Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care. It's much, much worse than that.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close,
The last thought in your head before waking is,
Yes?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it.
heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled. The lock turns easily. You hear.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushed in the heart of the city. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shift. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even. Your voice is barely audible. It's unnerving. The lieutenant points to his ear.
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. Filled with vague shapes of woodwork, the sense of a great height. It's like you see your own face reflected back at you in the vanishing geometry. A strange, alien image that's supposed to be you. There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark.
Officer, what are you looking at?
You see something hanging from the rafters. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The crab man. man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady,
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place. Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready,
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing too. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. I was like you once. Just drag.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what...
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe. Look at these crazies.
Fuck you, Crabman! You don't tell us what to do! Tell him!
The only thing we need to talk about is how the mother can really help you, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
This mother of silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. Convenience has got nothing to do with what goes on up there.
There's a profound longing in that gaze, like he wants to be.
Do you remember your name?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your place amongst your fellas, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough. Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think.
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing? Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Back when I still had material. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me. I think it was a long time ago. I had to share it like a skin to get closer to the center.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid. Oh,
Did you witness?
not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love had the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guess nah, man. They look pretty.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually might even be not.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes.
Wait, what if it...
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
You mean like a fugitive? No, man. Quite the opposite.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she...
Or search through her radio computer. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stage.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts as if under a microscope. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips as that soft word passes through your mind. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. The highest category of historic individual, and more. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerate. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by exploring many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long slender form, the past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove she made the most of her position in the antediluvian court. A court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic, she was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees, bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, as did we all. The lands of the Mes and the Occident, and even far away Supramuindi, in a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but she was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her therriers placed a white gold. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later, something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnatural. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass. Terrifying is a term too emotional. Terrifying. It's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would the Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory she adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. In icons such as this, little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce to
Lieutenant Yefreighter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? That she is. A great sacred piece. I wonder what we are doing in this church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a good place to get lost in. Yes, I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it.
on the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll...
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can be sure. Well, your 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by... It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and complex jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text, a leitmotif. Unknown. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights app. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. See, below both women, in luminous black letters, and then along the left side, Après le monde, la gré, après le gré.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A machine stands in the corner. The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but you can sense that he doesn't like you meddling with the machine.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC70. You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver.
Good morning, Fortress accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Good. Please repeat.
Let's look around. There's no use. Maybe he knows something.
Received. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? I have 2 machines registered to this camp.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guylaine?
Anything else I can help? Goodbye, Fortress.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Behind the hatch sits another filament memory. Nothing happens.
Oh, hey, Wade, there's coffee in the back. Oh, too many times, essay.
No need to overdo it. He won't mind sharing it with you.
Don't sweat it, vato.
That is true.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita. I think we're done here, essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure what.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between them. You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is... The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to only a strange little The mother of humanism towers above you. Why? That does seem to be The mother of humanism towers above you. The machine's keyboard is still the speaker.
Good morning, Votre. Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I have unlocked the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything? Good.
The machine's keyboard is still... The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks at the first entry made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author. Is short. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up. So I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your...
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place. That the church was spooky and ridden. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just that nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold. And in
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Artists, yet again. Harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the...
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone... I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely...
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that...
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but no...
Is she talking about...
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pill...
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out, fortunately, The song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say,
The girl on the ice?
March 51, I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You'll learn March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room.
We should talk to her after she has...
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you. Nope. Yes. No, you're right. I'm not. What? No, no one's suspicious of... I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't... I use the AR1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to on the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means. I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular... Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
I'm working. Could you just...
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do.
They are connected to my RAIM prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them. Great. You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been...
No, I'm not. It's just me and the crab man. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because what do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have?
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out? You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I... But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in them either. Great. What are we talking about? And why? Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Strange things may flourish in it.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architect?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the... I know. No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate... And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking. Great. Thanks. What? I hate it. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with... This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not an... Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with the...
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Hello again.
We're close. True, hard, full, hardcore. Hardcore to the internally all car. Gotta get the people. I'm the party boy. It's my job to want to. Hi again. So, how are things going?
Goodbye.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
And? What happened? Oh man! Who is he? What did you think? Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church? No matter. Yeah, Noid is right.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I dunno, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests...
I guess it's not a massive problem.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you... A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing, you know.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And in...
Unity! Dance!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you.
Oh, no, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the...
The lines in the dark exist!
At least Crabman seems like an...
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like a Nordic dance?
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think? Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, off.
Hello again.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
That's right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen.
There's not a trace of irony in her voice. She means it.
Yes, what is it?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory and I'm unable to go and fetch it. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on...
She's making it extra.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have... That's her name, I believe? Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means. Because she's from Martinez. And people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. She literally started praying for the higher powers when she...
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament? Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that. This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it?
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
Thanks. And here's my Kvalsund multitool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. This glorious multi-tool makes a regular pry bar completely obsolete.